Our meditation this evening, we take a look at the section just before what we looked at on Sunday. We had seen God appear to Moses, proclaiming his name. It was just before that Moses said this, and God responds. Then Moses said, "Please show me your glory." The Lord said, "I will make all my goodness pass in front of you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord in your presence. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show mercy to whom I will show mercy." He said, "You cannot see my face, for no human may see me and live." The Lord also said, "Look, there is a place next to me where you shall stand on the rock. It will happen that, while my glory passes by, I will put you in a crevice in the rock. I will cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take away my hand, and you will see my back, but my face will not be seen." The word of the Lord. Of all the people in history, Moses is perhaps the one who saw God's glory more than anybody else, with the exception, of course, of the people who walked with Jesus and saw all the miracles. But you think about Moses. He sees the glory of the Lord at the burning bush. Fast forward to the time in Egypt. He sees the glory of the Lord as it leads the Israelites out of Egypt in the pillar of cloud by day, pillar of fire at night. We're going to talk more about that on Sunday, by the way. He sees it again at Mount Sinai with the just amazing events at Mount Sinai and thunder and lightning and trumpet blasts, etc. Sees it again out in the wilderness when the Israelites are complaining about not having bread and God shows his glory before giving manna and quail. And yet through all of it, Moses seemed to realize that he was only getting a glimpse. And so as God has called him back up on Mount Sinai to redo the 10 Commandments, re-give the 10 Commandments, he wants to see it all. He wants to see God's full glory. Can you blame him? I mean, I guess I can understand where he's coming from. I guess I can understand where that request would come from. Because we human beings are obsessed with glory and power. And God comes and says, "You know what, Moses, I've got a way better idea. I'm going to show you my goodness." And then tells him what he is about to proclaim. "I'm going to proclaim my name, the Lord. And one of the things that means, Moses, is that I'll have mercy on whoever I want to have mercy on, and I'll have compassion on whomever I want to have compassion on." And that's part of God's goodness. Because none of us deserves to be shown compassion by God. None of us deserve to be shown mercy by God. What we deserve to be shown is God's anger and God's justice and God's judgment. But he says, "I choose to show you instead mercy and compassion." Wow. What a good God. Amen? And isn't that kind of the way we see it in the Christmas account? When we look at the Christmas account and we see that baby wrapped in cloths and laying in a manger, there's not a lot of glory there, is there? Humility? Yeah. Weakness? Yeah. Need? Yeah. Glory? Not so much. Why? Because your God is filled with goodness. And we look there at that manger and we think to ourselves, wow, Was God really willing to come to earth in this way? Yeah. And why was he willing to do that? Because he wanted to save people like you and me? That he wanted to save us? Yeah. And that because of God's goodness, that he was willing to undergo death on a cross to save somebody like me? Yeah. Oh my. How good is your God? It is amazing, isn't it? And you know what's also amazing? Someday, because of that amazing goodness of God, you are also going to get to see the glory of God. Yes, you will get to see it with your own eyes, and no, God isn't going to have to hide you in a crevice in a rock. You'll be able to see him face to face. But for now, instead of looking to see the glory of God, we get to rejoice in seeing the goodness of God, who's been oh so good to you and to me. Amen and amen.